We're at the BVI Regatta, and we've been racing against the Gunboat 68 Little Wing, and it's pretty cool to be able to grab Paul Larsen. And if you don't know, he's the fastest person ever on water. And I wanted to grab him, and I've always wanted to chat to you and just find out a bit about your background and sailing this week, and just chat to you about all these different things. And I think the best place to start is your water speed record.
Yeah, it was. I think it's been 14 years this year since we did that, and it's always nice to be reminded about it because we have very fond memories of that journey. And I guess, you know, finding myself in such a beautiful place like the BVI's on wonderful boats like this is, I guess, the reward for work we did 14 years ago. And it was a journey to get there, and it's been a journey since then to, you know, sail. We focused on that record for 11 years and pretty single-mindedly. And since then, I've had the opportunity to go and sail all the other boats that you wanted to sail that you missed out on. And one of these is the boat you find me sitting on here.
But so you were actually in a pod on that boat, and what was the record, and where did it happen?
The record was at the time the kiteboarders had done these amazing speeds up in they just started to get into the high 50s, and this was down in Namibia.
And that's nuts.
It was a beautiful part of the world, and with the first boat we built was a wild boat, and we didn't know exactly where we were going to do the record, and we took it down to Namibia, and once we found that place, the first time we let that boat go down that incredible, perfect mile where the cold ocean currents and the sloping desert that goes up to the plateau that is Namibia creates this wind that just comes every day from that direction. Never that direction, never that direction, that direction.
Always at the same time.
Yeah. It's like a natural wind tunnel, and it was. But once we found that spot, the second boat we built just 100% custom to that location, to that those wave heights, to that boat ramp to launch it on, even to the twist in the wind from the level of the water up to the top of the rig. The whole boat was twisted to match that exact location, and it was. It was a beautiful spot, and we spent a large part of our life down there in Walvis Bay, sitting on that beach, just waiting for those perfect conditions. And the kiteboarders had been a bit further south, where the wind blows a lot more, and everyone thought they'd taken it out of the reach of the boats. That there was this physical phenomenon called cavitation. You're hearing about this a lot more in Sail GP and the America's Cup. And certainly in the offshore world as well, where boats are now sailing up around just over 50 plus knots, and the water changes due to the pressure that you encounter at that speed, and it turns from a liquid to a vapor. And
so that's on Sail GP when you see all the boats suddenly spin out.
It's there's some of the fast boats doing the Jules Verne Trophy. Now that they get to the end of it and their foils are destroyed by this cavitation, and it eats away at it. The same when you've got an aluminium pan boiling on the you've got an old aluminium one and they're pitted on the bottom.
Aluminum.
Aluminum. But it's it's the same phenomenon. But if that was left boiling there for 47 days, it would eat away like the foils do. And they thought that boats couldn't get over that barrier, much like the sound barrier. So we designed a boat specifically where we said, if this boat can't do it, it can't be done. So we just stacked everything in that boat's favour with power, aerodynamics, this amazing location in Namibia.
And so you sat in this little pod. Were you did you have a steering wheel?
Yeah. Like you sit down at the very start, and the boat starts off with you sitting in a mock-up in a position with a steering wheel. And but unlike a race car, it's still a boat, so you're still pulling on ropes, and you have to make sure with a few cleats and stuff that you can still sheet on a sail and pull something in and out. And then you get those circles, and that starts to becoming the shape that we're going to make. And it's the boat was designed by an equation. It wasn't. We didn't sit there and say it's going to look like this, or it was. It had the equation had an answer, and it was 65 knots in 26 knots of wind. And then we just started building everything up to fit that equation, the size of the human, the size of the wing needed, the size of the foil, and slowly this shape started to emerge. When we've put it on display a couple of times in England, we had it at a composites and sports show up in Birmingham, and it was all the F1 teams and everyone was there, and composites and industry, and the F1 guys would come along, some of the big name designers, and they'd come and just look at it. It was put on there as a centerpiece, and they'd just say, where did that come from? Like, how the hell did you come up with that idea for that boat?
And so what was the record speed?
It was 65.45 knots. So we designed for 65 knots, but you know, it's kind of funny. The run only took 14 seconds. Super fast run, obviously, but you know, a couple of days before then, I think it was 7 days before then, we hadn't managed to get the boat to average over 50 knots. So a couple of little tweaks, and all of a sudden it turned on, and every time I sat in that thing, it just went not a fraction of a knot quicker. It went 3 knots quicker, 4 knots quicker, 5 knots quicker, and it was I didn't know what it was going to do. I knew it could have ended badly. I didn't have enough time to do all the safety that I wouldn't get in it again and do that. You did it once, and it was the happiest. I've never been so happy washing a boat down as at the end of that, just going, this could have been, you could have been washing this out instead of down like it was a dangerous thing. But yeah, it looked fantastic.
Well, I think the optimization thing is actually a really interesting point to bring up, because you know, I'm on a Gunboat 62.
Yeah.
That boat has been optimized throughout, you know, all the years. You know, 2004 hull, and the thing's still a rocket ship here at the BVI Spring Regatta. And, you know, we've been racing against the newer gunboats and the Flybridge gunboat, which is really fast, by the way. Annoyingly quick.
Fast, yeah.
And, you know, trimarans and all other boats. And I think it's really interesting that, you know, you've been integral to the Allegra program,
Yep.
which is the Nigel Irons. Originally, it was a 78.
That's correct, yep.
Yep. And now it's a
84.
84.
Yeah.
And I guess that's part of the optimization that you've been through. And so a lot of these owners buy these boats thinking it's a turnkey, but everyone tweaks and does different things, and it's this whole journey, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. And, you know, one of the nice things about these boats is that you can choose what you want to do on them. You can just go cruising, or you can race them quite aggressively and race them across oceans. So a lot of the people don't know where they're going to end up on their journey. They start on it. I think Allegra was certainly done that way, where he didn't know if he didn't really go that well at the racing or didn't like it that much, then it was just going to be a cruising boat. But he loved the racing, and I think you're seeing that with Layla behind us there as well. That's a boat, you know, probably one of the most cruiser-orientated boats here, but you know, that's got a team of very good sailors on board, and probably the best sail package in the fleet here. Yeah. And it's being raced really well, and it came within 1 point of winning this regatta. And annoying how close it is behind us all. Yeah. I mean, if you look at the difference in the boats here, you've got little, 33-foot foiling boats. I saw
the TF10.
Yeah. And I saw Shannon pop up on the foils there today and get going. And
that's the F4.
On the F4, and then you've got the trimaran, which is sort of has all the bones of the Orma 60 dynasty, and it's Nigel Irons' boat, and we're finishing remarkably close to each other. Yeah. And I think quite a few boats have actually won races here on the point, so it's kind of working.
It's been great racing. I mean, it's been incredible. And what was really funny is I remember the first phone call with the owner, or now the owner of Layla, and he wanted to buy that boat to cruise and charter. Yeah. And now to see that boat on the race course fully pro'd up, but you know, just absolutely sending it it's a testament to him, I think, number one, but also, you know, how they built that boat. It's as you said, annoyingly fast.
Well, I guess you don't know what you're going to meet people on the journey that are going to change the course of it, and quite often that can be the team that you get on board to sail the boat, or you know, the sailors that come on board, and that's something you just have to trust that if you start on that journey, these people will come along. If you make a bus that people want to get on, you know, like it's go. I mean, these are going to nice destinations as we see here. And
well, I think the Allegra thing is really interesting because it seems every time I hear about that program, it seems like you guys. I mean, how many years have you been sailing? It seems like a complete family now.
Yeah. It's 11 years now, and it's the core team is still there. And every now and then you change a few people, which quite often we're sad to see them go. But it brings in fresh blood as well. It's been a I think if we started to really lose a few of the core team, then it would change the nature of the boat. But the thing is, we all have a bit of ownership of that boat. We all feel a lot of pride in the boat and where it's come from, and we like the way I think it's viewed externally. Quite people that we respect come up to us and say that's boat sailed well and it's a good program, and you think good on Adrian and his vision. I did not expect that boat to be going as quick as it is now when I first sailed on it. Yeah,
and I think that leads me on to Adrian and the regatta, the Multihull Cup in Palma that he has basically. I mean, it's his baby, isn't it? He promotes it and his regatta, and he's incredible for performance multi-hull sailing.
Oh, look, he's 100% behind this class, and he tried to have that event so it was. It caters just for these type of boats, but every year it is herding cats because there's so many of these boats around, but they don't always come racing, and that's where we try and make a rating, and we try and make it so people, if they get a couple of good sails, put a couple of pros on board, get it sailed well, bring your friends. At the boat, it's worth turning up to these events. You always learn something and learn to sail your boat better if you go racing, and it's so it doesn't have to all be for cattle stations, and we try and make fun courses and just get people to see what their boats can do.
So putting you on the spot, you've sailed Allegra, you obviously sailed a lot of other boats, and you're right here on the Gunboat 68. How do the boats feel in terms of, I mean, when you're on the helm, do they feel differently? Do they sail differently? Is that down to hull, or is it sails, or is one better upwind versus downwind?
I like Allegra has become, certain elements are quite racy. It's got very fast winches, so the manoeuvres go quite quickly. These boats, because they're heavier, they generally like to be pushed. I kind of
68.
And Layla and everything. In a way, it means you have to over canvas them. You have to have everything up in the right sails. If you short sail them, they don't. There's a lot of boat to push through the water. That's why I kind of do like the 62s. When you look at the lighter boats and stuff, I notice when you get a gust, you do something different than this boat does. That means these boats are very safe and a bit more forgiving. They've got a much softer motion. And Allegra takes that to another level. It's 30 tons, but I always feel that we're always sailing that with a lot of sail up. But the sails are set softly, and it's because it's got that weight. It's got a soft motion. I always feel very safe on Allegra, but it's but you do have to push it. I like driving outdoors. You know. Little Wing's got the tillers on there, and I notice, you've got a great outdoor. You've got the whole sun deck up there on Layla and stuff. And I think a lot of the people that are racing them do like the option of sitting outside, and that's why you see the wheels popping up on these boats. So I think that's one thing that they got right on Allegra.
Yeah. So end of BVI Spring. Biggest takeout for you from this regatta?
I'm surprised how. We all moan about ratings at some time or other, don't we? But I'm surprised how close some of these boats. I mean, they somehow managed to put a rating that got Layla to race that TF10, and it came down to 1 point in the end, and they were winning and losing by seconds and stuff. So.
And we had a few ding dongs, didn't we?
Yeah, we had some great ding dongs, and it was. I'm glad.
Well, that first start, we came in, had no room. You completely shut us out. We had to jive off and come back, and then I think the next two we stuffed you, and then even today it was just a full-on battle off the line, and it's just been an incredible week of sailing.
It's great boat on boat, and every island, it's not just rounding marks, like it's islands and everything that goes with that, and that was that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, well, end of BVI 2026 Regatta. Super lucky to have grabbed you and sit down with you and find out a bit more about what makes you tick and talk about your record. Right. And thank you for your time. And we will be seeing you on the water, hopefully behind us next time.
You will. We'll be back with Allegra next year, so we're coming back. So.
All right. Cool. Cheers, Paul.
All right. Nice
Thanks,
one.
mate.